and welcome to spring, and welcome to Cigar Time.
Spring.
It is Cigar Time, right?
Yes, it is Cigar Time.
And you're all looking at me like I have three heads.
Spring.
Cigar
Spring.
time in spring.
Spring. So it's almost,
Baseball time.
yes,
Baseball.
and outdoors.
Are you excited about
outdoor
I love
sports,
baseball.
such as golf, tennis, cigar smoking.
that? That's an outdoor sport.
It's almost there.
The horseshoes, the
Tennis.
barbecue.
Tennis players
Horseshoes,
are big
croquet
cigar
on the
smokers.
lawn.
Anything.
Don't you play croquet on your lawn?
Hey,
eat
if I can be
croquettes.
outside, I don't know about croquet, but we definitely throw shoes.
Okay.
Why are you excited about baseball?
Because baseball is the best sport ever invented.
Come on, the Phillies have won 2 World Series in my lifetime. I didn't, when I was young, I didn't
In
think that would
100
ever
years,
happen.
they've won 2. You're right.
Actually, it's 130, but who's counting?
Well, so what? It's baseball.
At any rate,
Best game ever invented.
welcome back to
awesome.
Cigar Time. I'll try to gain control of the show anytime now.
Good luck.
We're very happy to have Paul Bush back with us.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank
Hello,
you,
Paul.
thank
So
you.
good
The
to see you. I love
founder-
that
Thank
T-shirt,
you.
by the way.
The founder
I got
and
one for you.
major domo of Panacea Cigars through his gargantuan holding company, flatbed,
Bruce
I
wants
didn't
you.
say.
flatbed cigars. And the lovely Miss T will tell us about the cigar we're going to smoke today.
This is the Panacea Kentucky Fire Cured 560. I'm going to let him explain a little bit more about what goes into this one, but I'll just quickly go over it. The wrapper is a Brazilian Maduro. I'm not quite sure what the binder is, and I know the filler is Kentucky Fire Cured. The size is a 5x60. And the flavor profile, again, you must be thinking about me when you do these cigars. That's why I love your cigars, right? We have
What, nutty?
No, that's you. That's definitely you. Definitely
Too
you.
late. We were
No,
all going there.
I don't think so. It's a chocolate,
I have to
molasses,
work with these
nutty,
people.
and sweet.
Oh,
I say
this
nutty.
close.
Well, Tia was being very kind because the reason she didn't know about the binder and the filler is because I forgot to tell everybody.
Oh, it's a,
It's a secret.
it's a secret.
It's not a secret. So the, did you say the wrapper?
I just said it.
All right, so
But
the
you can
wrap.
go ahead.
All right, the wrapper is a Brazilian Maduro. The filler I'm using Piloto, which is a Ligero. I'm using some Olor, which is also Dominican Ligero.
Nice.
We use a little bit of Nicaraguan Ligero. But the fun part with this cigar is, and what gave it its name, is we're using some Kentucky Fire Cured as in with the filler. So there's a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot. There's a couple of Kentucky Fire Cures that are out there. When we were putting this cigar together, we didn't have the wrapper, and we decided to use it as filler. So that's what you have. You have the Brazilian Maduro wrapper, you have some Nicaraguan Ligero, you have some Dominican Ligero.
Yeah, which is the piloto. Which is the
He's making
piloto.
fun of Paul.
I'm trying to pay attention.
This is a serious show.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm new. I'm new at this. Well, it's
You're not going
I
to get
should-
old
This is
either.
actually your
it's my third time, fourth, so I should be better at it.
should
but,
be. That's all right.
but anyway, I'll
No,
try.
you're-
We'll cut you a little.
You're
You would
fine.
think by now.
You would think,
You're
yes.
fine, and the way you look. so.
All right, well, thank you,
Oh.
Tia. I can always
have to
count on
hit on
Tia for
every
a nice
every-
compliment.
Yeah.
When
I do
the
not hit
rest
on
of these
every
guys,
guest. Please give me
you
a. Come
know.
on, you've seen our.
Come on,
don't
no
go
She
there.
lovers
doesn't
quarrel.
say that's all the girls.
No,
You
I
need a
don't
lover's
say
quarrel
that.
over
Larry Palumbo is the only one she didn't hit on. His wife
No,
is-
I did not. I didn't hit on anybody. I don't hit
Because
anybody.
his wife of 61
That's what I'm
years was
saying.
sitting in the
No, I
audience.
did not.
He felt safe.
Please give me some credit.
Did I? I'm all lost now. Did I
Oh,
cover?
can I just quick tell a secret? He likes to run out. Can I tell your secret? Yeah, exactly. Hush.
Does it-
Cállate.
Does it involve an execution? His mask and a
Yeah, when he sees the
A
customers.
lot of my stories
yeah.
have that, yes.
I know.
And you think we just show up and look pretty. It goes far. I mean, the hours and days of rehearsal that we put into
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Oh, we've got excellent writers.
I hope it shows. Because I know what I'm seeing.
Speaking of looking We got pretty, Andy written all I over got us. an email today from a viewer who said, I want to join the show because clearly you gentlemen on the panel will not be appearing in GQ anytime soon, so I'll fit right in.
Wait a minute, speak for yourself.
No, not, this is what he said, not what I said.
Oh, was he hitting on you? I mean, what's going on?
No, he was saying that we're all fat and ugly, and so is he. So he figured he would fit right in.
Well, what about Scott?
Should we submit the show
Extra
for an
fat and ugly.
Yeah.
What?
Emmy? We should submit this for an Emmy.
We should.
Oh, yeah.
For your consideration.
Just for your consideration.
And not ready for prime time, Emmy?
Syndication first, the whole country, and then Emmy.
That's right.
All right.
God
What were we
help
talking
us.
about?
I
don't
think
know.
I think I covered it. Did I cover all the?
I wasn't listening.
Did you explain the fire cure process?
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
what is Kentucky Fire?
Okay,
Cure?
so
I hate to
so-
get back to cigars.
Come on.
But, you know, let's
So
try.
All
the,
right, let's go.
the fire cured process is, where should I start? Well, when
Start
all
at the
the
beginning.
the fire curing process really is, back in the day, it was just a way to speed up the drying process of the leaf. So while the leaf, when the leaves were harvested and hanging in the barn to dry, at the base of the barn they would light hardwood, burn hardwood, and it would heat the barn and it would take the moisture out of the barn and it would hence speed up the drying process of the leaf. But what they also discovered is in that process that the heat would it affected the natural sugars that are in the plant, in the leaf, and it caramelized the sugars and it just made it a little bit sweeter. So you have the smoke from obviously burning the hardwoods in the barn to help with the drying, but it also heated the sugars and caramelized the sugars a bit. So you get that smokiness, but you also get a little bit of sweetness with it as well.
So it's the creme brulee of cigars.
I haven't thought of that, but that's pretty good. Yeah.
Speaking of hardwoods and burning and all that stuff, just want to mention a gratuitous plug for our sister company right up the street from the Horsham Cigar Store, Barbecue, which uses select woods in their smoking process to get you the meats and porks and everything that tastes so good. And as a special inducement, for the next 2 weeks, or at least till the end of March, if you go to Barbecue and spend more than $12, just keep your receipt and come down to the Horsham Cigar Store and you'll get an extra 15% off.
Wow.
Everything and anything. Whether you spend $10, $1, or $10,000, you'll get 15 off by just bringing in your receipt of more than $12 from Barbecue. So, you
To
know,
spend in the cigar store.
come into the Horsham Cigar Store, Cigars, and bring in your receipt, and we'll give you 15% off your purchase.
Wow.
And
That's really
beside
cool.
the 15% off, which is nice enough,
Oh, here it comes.
Here we go.
you're going to get a delicious meal.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you, audience.
great save.
Sorry, inside comment.
You know, from the mouths of babes.
Stop it.
Made it through the last one out there. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Now, the lovely Miss T will tell you the website for Barbecue.
Oh wow! I was gonna say something else.
What were you gonna say?
My BBQ.
How do you spell that?
.com.
I think I did spell it right.
Yeah, I
You
think
did
I
fine.
think I did. Okay.
Remember, it's only a couple doors up from the Cigars at 537
And they
Easton
vape.
Road in Horsham, which is in Pennsylvania. Just thought I'd mention.
Yeah.
And they vape.
And Vape, that's right, the headquarters of Vape. I forgot about that.
We could do a co-branded
Vape,
barbecue
Roast-
fire cured cigar.
yeah,
Kentucky
roast
Fire
pork
Cure.
and fire cure cigar.
If you can come up with a cigar that tastes like roast pork or bacon,
Bacon.
your future
Yeah.
will be assured forever.
Bacon flavored.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
bacon-flavored cigar.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It would be good, would be good.
I'm sure you could do it. I'll get on that.
All right, back to cigars now.
Okay.
I hate to break this good time up, but where were we?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
We were enjoying this fire.
We were
sewer
making fun of
cigar.
T, I think.
I think we want to get
That's nothing new. I don't
first
know
thoughts
why.
on this rather delicious cigar.
Jealousy.
Or
such
did
an
I
ugly
just
thing.
pollute the well?
No, again, it's very sweet. I'm getting a lot of sweetness right up front, and I am getting a little tea in it that is nutty.
I thought you were getting
So
the brown
far, so good.
sugar.
Yeah. No.
That's all you have to say?
For now.
He's a man of few words. Paul?
It's initial
Well, I'll
impressions.
tell you something I like about this immediately, and that's that some of the other fire-cured cigars try too hard to taste, to get the hardwood flavor in there. This is much more subtle and relaxed and pleasant because you didn't force it.
Key?
Yeah, I really like. not. I wasn't. If you remember me from October of the show, I'm not going to say which one, but we did a fire cured on there, the Kentucky. I was not a huge fan at all. I thought it was extra sweet, and this has a very nice balance. I love the smoke, and right now it's like a medium, like a a heavy medium, but it's nice. So, and I did a retrohale, and I got some spice on that. So,
Rob?
nice.
I agree with Paul. It's not in your face, fire cured. It's really nice, very subtle, very pleasant taste. I am getting the sweetness of it and the nuttiness of it so far. And I agree with Tia also. It is a medium body cigar.
Some of the fire cured cigars almost taste like they're flavored
Yeah,
to
they're
be
Right.
fire
They're
cured.
too
Right.
much.
And this tastes like a cigar that has that kind of
Instead
tobacco
The one
in
that
it.
we tried last time was very, very hickory tasting.
Yeah, like
too
they
woody.
put it on
Too
it or
woody.
something.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. It's like they painted it
This
on.
cigar
Yeah,
has
you're right.
a long, sweet finish. Has a very, very pleasant finish, and again, I would kind of put it in medium.
And the taste on your palate is important. I can't
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
when a
It leaves
cigar
a
leaves you that taste. This
Yeah.
is real nice.
Leaves
And
a
your
light,
last
sweet
one
finish.
too, I meant to say, was pleasantly nice.
One we smoked
on the
last week,
tongue. Yes,
yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
Paul, I have
Seven,
a
60.
question for you about this. You mentioned that there's some Piloto Ligero, some Olor Ligero, and some Nicaraguan Ligero,
Yes.
which sounds like an awful lot of Ligero.
Yeah.
And some people might expect that with that much Ligero,
Yeah.
it would be a powerhouse kick in the
Yeah.
pants, but it's not.
No, it's
So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering.
The Piloto, and I'll circle back. We tried this in many different iterations, and some of it was just too strong. You know, when you blend it, you just play with, you just say, wrap it, let's do this. A lot of fire cured, a little bit of fire cured, not as much fire cured. A lot of Nicaraguan, a lot of Dominican, less Nicaraguan. So you play with all different iterations of the cigar, and then you mark them and you smoke them. What we found was I find that the Piloto and the Olor, they're not real strong
No,
Ligeros.
not at all.
So you needed a little bit of Nicaraguan Ligero to add some
punch
strength
it up.
to it. I find that the Olor and the Piloto have more moisture to them. You know, they're a little bit sweeter, a little bit moister, a little bit more oil. The Nicaraguan adds the strength, and the fire cured is very strong. So when there was too much fire cured, it was just what you guys were saying earlier. It's like
Yeah.
you're smoking a campfire. You know?
Right.
So it was a matter of, using all these different leaves in the right amounts to come up with something that was strong enough, but not overpowering.
Yeah.
But also with the Piloto and the Olor to add some of that sweetness to it, some of the molasses that you find, and some of that sugar, brown sugar that you find. So it's just playing with the blends until you get one that you like, or sometimes it's all the panel likes better than you. If your palate is a stronger palate, or maybe it's a weaker palate, but it's really, we kind of blend by consensus. So we get it out there. It has to be something that we like, but it has to also be something that the feedback that we get is, this is nice, this is
Love
nice.
to be at the blending process.
So
it
it's,
has to be so
what do
much
you-
fun.
Paul,
We'll
this
get you some-
is a credit to your blending ability.
Yeah, it's
I
well
have
balanced.
to tell you, it's really well
It
balanced.
has
Thank you.
so much fun.
well
Yeah.
What happens
balanced.
if like 6 people on this panel like it and you don't?
I'll tell you a little secret. The Pennsylvania broadleaf, our Lancaster we call it, that wasn't my favorite blend when we were playing around with the Lancaster. I found it to be a little bit stronger than I like. But everybody else was like, no, this is the one, Paul. There was another one that I liked better, but everybody else was like, this is one that I like, this is one that I like. And everything that I had done prior to that cigar, I was really basing it off of my palate, and I knew there were some misses. The first cigar I ever made, the Black Label Connecticut, is one of my favorite cigars. But it's a mild cigar, and the market is what the market is. So there's a place for that mild cigar, but if I stayed on, just that blend, we wouldn't be where we are today,
Yeah.
So it's you
Yeah.
gotta
That's
you
kinda
gotta let other.
difficult, though.
It's hard because it's kind of your baby, right?
Yes.
So it's like it's
Sometimes-
your thing, and all of a sudden you have to give that to somebody else, or
Sometimes
or
even
at least
the best of us
yeah.
have to defer.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And that green label, I think, is our number 2 selling blend. I'm not sure of the size, but overall, the green label is our number 2 selling blend.
And you said this is a Mexican, not Mexican,
Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
This is the same that we smoked last week.
Yes.
And again,
It looks totally different.
Wrapper-wise.
Yep.
it does.
Wrapper-wise, yep.
Actually, last week didn't look very dark, and this
This looks dark.
This looks dark. This is,
But
looks
it's
much
beautifully,
oilier.
It looks
this
like a
is
shade
beautifully
darker.
marbleized.
I don't think
Yeah.
mine's dark at
You know
all.
what it look? This one
It's a
reminds
shade-
me of a
it's like it's like
Pennsylvania
one shade
broadleaf.
darker. One
You know,
shade.
like you get a lot of that
No, I know
marbleizing in
about
the
the different shades.
PA41.
Yeah.
Is the 41 named after Route 41 that cuts through?
I don't know why they call it PA41, to be honest with you. but
41's
it's-
a main drag that
No,
comes
I
up from
think
Delaware.
there were
into-
40 other seeds that sucked.
Speaking of sucking, I think it's time
for Paul in
to
the Field?
have our Paul in the Field segment.
Oh, now wait a minute. Okay,
And today, Paul's going to pontificate on.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Maduro's for.
I like pontificate.
Okay, I'm going to pontificate about Maduro's. Specifically, along the lines that we've just been discussing, the fact that there are Maduros that are not so dark. And the fact, actually, a few months ago, we were talking about a cigar, I don't remember which one, that was a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper that wasn't Maduro. And I got some emails from viewers asking, isn't Connecticut broadleaf always a Maduro? So, although we've discussed some of this in the past, I believe that an update or a new primer on, there's that pontificate,
Was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
on Maduro. The first thing to understand, and this is probably the most important, is that Maduro is not a color. Maduro, I don't know what that means. Maduro is a process. Maduro is what you do with the tobacco. It isn't a type of tobacco. Specifically, the word Maduro means ripe. And it refers to the fact that Maduro wrappers are left on the plant longer. So they get more sun, they do more photosynthesis, they convert more starch into sugar. And when you ferment a Maduro, you ferment it longer, you allow it naturally to reach a higher temperature, and more of that sugar feeds the fermentation process so that it becomes more flavorful. Don't think of Maduro as stronger, think of it almost as a concentrated version of the same group of flavors that are in the leaf anyway. With that in mind, I just wanted to show you very quickly, and this is not so much with regard to the brands that are here, I just wanted to show you some of the variation in color depth between some Maduros. I'm going to turn the bands towards me so you don't know what they are. But you can see that some are really dark, and some are not so dark. Some are almost pitch black.
And that's commonly called oscuro.
Well, here's the thing. Oscuro is a color.
That's it.
In the grading of colors of wrappers,
It's almost black.
Oscuro is a color that is basically black.
Yeah,
Maduro is not.
he's right.
So how do you get these variations in color out of Maduro? Because it's all about time on the plant, time in fermentation, and temperature of fermentation, you can basically decide as a tobacco producer or as a cigar producer what kind of Maduro you want.
Time on the plant?
That's how it gets to be more
Yeah.
ripe.
Yeah.
I guess so.
That's really where it started. Before they were even thinking about changing the fermentation process, if you left a leaf on the plant longer, it would wind up naturally being darker and richer in flavor.
Makes sense.
Kind of like when you see plantains in the supermarket, they have the green ones,
Right.
and they call them Maduros, the ripe ones, which are black. In fact, it's almost the same process.
Talk about sugars.
It's all
Yeah,
about sugars. Because that process of leaving it longer and fermenting it longer and letting it get hotter in the piles of tobacco takes time and a lot of manual labor. You know, when the tobacco is in the piles fermenting, it has to be stopped periodically. The leaves have to be shaken out and sprayed. All of that many times over sometimes a course of years It's a lot of time, it's a lot of labor, it's a lot of money. And for a long time, companies have been looking for ways to shorten the process and make it cheaper. There are a few gradations to what they do to make that happen.
Good word, gradation.
Yeah.
Well,
Wordsmith Day.
I'm pontificating, so you know, I have to use big words.
You're a pontificator.
Yeah, something like that. So the basic way to make a Maduro is the way that I've described to you already, and that takes the longest time and yields the most natural, rich flavor that you're going to get. The next way that they make it quicker is what we would call a cooked Maduro. And really all that means is rather than letting the fermentation piles get hot by themselves, you add heat to the process, either by steam or by burning small charcoal braziers, I don't know which way you call that, charcoal in the in the barns. But in effect, you're raising the temperature artificially so it happens faster. The next step up is to actually take the finished leaf when it's done fermenting and literally cook it, and some companies do that. They'll put it in effect in a pressure cooker with something that will both sweeten and darken the tobacco. Sometimes it's molasses, sometimes it's a combination of things. The last method, and the one that I am, as a tobacco guy, most deeply offended by, is when they actually put a coloring on the leaf, whether it's sprayed on the tobacco before the cigar is rolled, or actually painted on the cigar after it's rolled. So a painted Maduro is sort of a horrible thing, and you don't want those. Fortunately, we don't deal in painted Maduros.
And Maduros are typically stronger.
Well, richer.
I was being
It's
facetious.
like some of the old manufacturers used to use tea leaves to make a certain color, like rosado or
Right.
something like that.
There's one last part to this that's can be confusing just because of the words and the Spanish of it. Part of the process of fermentation involves not just using water to spray the leaves and stop them from fermenting. Every tobacco processor has a secret formula all his own of something called Bethune. Bethune is some mixture of acidic substances like potentially coffee or lemon juice and sugary substances like molasses or even rum. And these are not used to flavor the tobacco. They're used to change the rate of fermentation and either feed it by giving it more sugars to work on, or retard it by making too acidic of an environment. What makes that confusing is some guys will mix colors in with the Bethune, and what makes it even more confusing is that the word Bethune literally means shoe polish. And that's not the point of Bethune. Making your cigars dark and shiny is not the point. Controlling the fermentation naturally is what Bethune is all about, and it's vital in making a good slow Maduro. I think I've pontificated enough.
I think you've pontificated enough. I think it's time to go around the esteemed panel here and get your final comments on the cigar, and then we'll come back and rate it.
Okay, I'll go first.
You go first.
Cool. I really like this one. I was shocked because when I saw Kentucky Fire Cured, I said, "Oh, here we go again." You know, I was nervous. I really like the size. I do love a 60 ring gauge. I think that's actually kind of a perfect size. It's very toothy, and I love that. I'm definitely bringing the sugars out. I don't taste the chocolate, but that's okay. I get everything else though. I love the draw. And I have to comment on your bands. They're just so simple. And,
That's a cool band.
you know,
It really is.
It's nice.
It's minimalist.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
You know, so it's just it's like I can tell your cigars, you know, and that's great. You have your
That's
you know,
excellent, yeah.
that's awesome. So this is good. I like
Thank
it.
you.
Rob?
I agree. This is a very good cigar. I like the fact that it's not as hickory tasting as some of the other
Like smoking
Kentucky
meat.
fire cured stuff.
Yeah.
It's very, very smooth. I'm definitely getting the molasses and the nut in this cigar.
Oh, wow.
It's very sweet because of the wrapper. The wrapper's beautiful. It's got a nice oily sheen to it. It's burning fantastic. I really like the cigar a lot. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be very hickory.
Real strong,
Real
real
strong,
woody,
yeah,
woody,
real woody
yeah,
taste,
yeah.
but no, I don't get that at all.
Scott?
I agree with Rob that you don't get that overpowering campfire or hickory flavor to
Right.
it. I think it's a really nicely balanced cigar, and I think it's true to the flavor profile of. I am getting some of the chocolate, definitely the molasses, the nutty, and I actually think the cigar is getting sweeter as I smoke it, which is very surprising to me. I very much like this cigar.
Paul?
I like it a lot. It is, to agree with everyone, I would say almost perfectly balanced. The sweetness is there. The finish is very long. And I don't know that I've ever had a better tasting retrohale out of any cigar than I'm getting out of this.
It is very good.
As for me, as luck would have it, I got one that was a little tight. I've had to relight it a couple of times, but even in the relighting, and I agree with Paul, through the retrohale, even the second or third relighting, it still was sweet, had a good finish to it, pleasant to smoke. I don't always recommend relighting a cigar 2 and 3 times, but it happens once in a while. It's honest. Rob, what do these sell for?
$6.90.
Oh,
Ah,
that's the sweet
For-
spot.
for a 60 ring gauge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a sweet price. It's an excellent cigar. Since we are starting to run out of time, we need to put some numbers on this.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Wow,
And by the way, it also comes in a 6x60.
cool.
6x60?
8x6.
8 by 6.
Hooey.
My kind
Now
of,
That's
that's
a
a
big cigar.
commitment.
now that's a commitment.
That's a slow seller now. In another month, they
It'll
go
be a bigger
crazy.
seller,
When
yeah.
golf
Sure.
season starts,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything we
Fishing
talked
season.
about, all the fishing season, all the outdoor stuff, it takes off.
Paul?
I give it a 9 too, and I hate to agree with anybody about anything.
9.2 or 9?
A 9 also.
Also. T?
Well, I don't want to agree, so I'm going to do 9.2. And I'm judging this off of the other fire cures that's out there.
Now, did she
Okay,
say
that's what I'm
9.2
based.
or
That's what I'm
9.2?
judging it
Yeah,
off of.
9.2.
This is the best fire cure I've had, so I'm judging it off
Thank
of
you.
that.
Wow. Rob?
Well, I agree with the other guys. It's a 9, definitely.
Holy
Definitely a great
man.
cigar. Really is.
It's a great rating.
Well, don't leave it to me to knock it down. It's a solid 9. And a lot of it, beside the excellent burn, once I got it going pretty good, and the easy draw once I got it going again. Unfortunately, it's my luck. I always get the one that's sometimes a little tough.
Poor baby.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll handle it for another one. I give it a 9. It's even with the relighting, it's still an excellent smoke, and the price pushes it over the top as far as I'm concerned. All right, panel, that half hour went by fast.
Sure did.
Paul, we thank you very much for joining us
Well,
again.
tsk you so much for having me, and
I hope you
Always.
come
Thank you
anytime.
very much.
Thank you so
Always.
Time
much.
to say goodbye quickly.
Thank
Yes. Goodbye. Remember, buy 3, get 1 Panacea, all stores for the end of the week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hi, Mom.
baby.
Paul,
Smoke often, smoke happy.
T,
Smoke sweet. Bye-bye for now.
Ciao for now, everybody.
And thank you all. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you, Paul. Thanks for coming in.
I love looking
Long
at
drive
your
for
face.
you.
on behalf of
my
everyone,
God, stop hitting me on.
I'm not
we
hitting on 'em.
appreciate your business. We'll see you in the stores.
I got it.
Bye-bye, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.